Hello everyone, it's RASA von Werder from the University of Mother God Church. RASA, RASAVONWERDER, University of Mother God Church. My stage name is Kellie Everts, KELLIE EVERTS. Look me up, my religious work and my matriarchal work under womanthouartgod.com. Look up my biography of my early life and my show business life under KellieEverts.com or istripforgod.com. And look up my books. I have 20 written, published, illustrated books, illustrated with my photography and my pictures. Most of them are on lulu.com. Just look up Kellie Everts, RASA von Werder books. All right, now, I'm talking about Reverend Verna Talbot and how I went from the bogey yogi, the fake yogi, Prince Nutty, to Reverend Verna Talbot. Okay, so now she's got me, she's a minister, you know, and she has her own church charter. So I am very impressed with her. I am impressed. You know, again, I'm on a learning kick. You know, all my life, all I have done is learn and study, learn and study, learn and study. You know, I'm a study freak. I'm a learning freak. And she started teaching me about channeling. See, she's a New Age minister. She started teaching me channeling and faith healing. She had some healing power. Yes, she had some healing power. So I wanted to learn that. I wanted to learn to be a healer and a channeler and everything. Now, I'm trying to think what it was about her. Maybe if I get to the end and go backwards, I'll remember it better, because it's kind of hard to remember I don't know, the beginning was not very eventful. Oh yes, yes, I do remember, I do. She was trying to put together a newspaper. Now, I already had a newspaper called Enlightenment, which I put together and gave out for free. And she wanted to do her church One World Light newspaper. So I said, I'll do it. I'll do the paper for you. So I started to work. You know, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed working. She was, I'll be honest with you, she was so obnoxious, bossy, know-it-all. You ever met a bossy, know-it-all? You'll know what obnoxious means. You'll know how sickening that is. And I had teeth being worked on at the time. A lot of tooth work being done, including I was getting some bridges made, yeah, 1 or 2 bridges made, and there was a lot of work being done. And I'll be honest with you, if it were not for the codeine that they gave me, that I had to take for the pain, I don't think I could have stood it. That's how obnoxious she was. Absolutely unbearable. But she had, it wasn't, I could have worked. You understand me? I did not need her to live with her for support. I did not. I could have gone back to work right then and there, dancing, supported myself, not lived with her. I wanted to live with her in order to learn and to receive the God abilities she had, the anointing that she had. Once she convinced me, you know, it was like this Prince Nutty, I wanted to learn his mind over matter stuff, and I did. I learned that you can do a lot of shit by mind over matter and hypnosis. You could. I did it. He couldn't do it. He preached it, but I did it. He didn't know anybody else that took him seriously but me. I was the only one that even tried to do the shit he taught. And I did it. Okay, now with her, it was something else. It was out of my depth. It was something I had never studied, something I had never heard about before. you know, from a living person. I mean, I read about it. Okay, so right from the very beginning, I constantly... Okay, so the newspaper. So after a while, she didn't want me to work on the newspaper. She said, this is what she said, and this, I put this on, when later I got on Real People, it was 1979, I was still, trying to think, I had, yeah, I had left her already, yeah, in 79 I had left her, but she said to me, what I need from you is to make money. Now this here comes in the con woman. If I were young and beautiful like you, I would go out and make money for the church. That's what I need you to do. Not sit here working on the newspaper. I said, but I'm done with that. I don't want to do that. I want to live for God. I want to work on the newspaper. I want to be the way I, you know, I don't want to be in the world anymore. I don't. It was like I wanted a convent life. I wanted a godly life. I wanted to be with God. And she insisted that the greatest value that I could give to the work was to dance and send her money. So that is how she sent me out on the road. I did not become the stripper for God yet. She didn't want me to preach. I remember she wanted to be a, she was ambitious and she wanted to win some kind of a, like, not a dog catcher, but some kind of a low-level congresswoman. But not a congresswoman, it's councilwoman, some kind of a councilwoman in L.A. And she sent me out on the street in a low-cut dress to give out papers about her, how great she was, and I did it. And then she wanted to go to a rally. I guess it was a Democratic rally, and this great black actress was, it was like $150 a seat, and I had to get a couple of seats for her and me. Cicely Tyson was the speaker, and I was very impressed with her. She was great. So we went, and I was wearing a beautiful outfit and whatever. So we sat there, and all these guys tried to come up and talk to us, and she was, as usual, talking about how great she was, and she's this, and she's that, and she's of God, and she's a great anointed seer, and she was always just bragging about, it was a lot of bullshit because she hadn't proven any of this. You know, she was a legend in her own mind, but she did have abilities, but they were really partially unproven, if you know what I mean. You know, she had not really demonstrated like Catherine Coleman. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you. She had a good voice. When she was young, she was a singer, a professional singer. She had a beautiful voice at one time, but she had lost it. So she was in the Catherine Coleman choir. And she was telling me, she said that she, Verna, was the authentic healer. And Catherine Coleman was not as great as her, and she was taking energy or light or anointing from her, Verna, and using it. She said, I'm the authentic faith healer, and she was using my power. It's bull crap. Believe me when I tell you, that is bull. It's as stupid and bull crap as it sounds. It's bull crap. All right, so she wanted to be a legend. She wanted to be a great woman like Catherine Coleman, but she didn't have the promotional ability. She didn't have the moxie, the panache, whatever it takes. She didn't have, I don't know what she didn't have. I don't know what she didn't have, but she had some abilities. She had an anointing. I didn't have any anointing that I knew of, and I wanted an anointing. An anointing is God's power. I knew how to do hypnosis. She was always making fun of me. That's another thing I wanted to tell you. She was a manipulator. She admired my physical beauty, but she wanted to use it for herself. She didn't admire me for myself, for me to be a star in my own right. So anyway, so we went to this meeting where Cicely Tyson was the speaker, and she was wonderful. And we met a young, very handsome young man. And that young man and us, we all went to dinner. I don't remember if he paid for it, but there's a chance he might have. He was a very handsome, well-dressed gentleman. I mean, he was a gentleman. He was not a ghetto guy. By no means, he was a real super, super guy. And we were all sitting there talking, and I said, I would like to preach. You know, and Verna, of course, she says, well, preaching ain't stripping. You don't know anything about preaching. And the young man looked at her and said, Kelly will surprise you. He stood up for me. Wow. Did he impress me for that? He stood up for me. To be continued.